All right, chemistry crew, two quick safety procedures on mixing chemicals and how to heat substances carefully. All right, so let's talk about when you're mixing substances. So here's the deal. When you mix certain chemicals, you may notice a drop in temperature because that reaction will absorb heat, so it gets colder, okay? It wants to absorb heat from the surroundings. But some chemical reactions, they release a lot of heat and they get very hot, okay? One example of that is when you mix an acid and a base, or when you mix an acid with water. So I actually, in college, almost seriously hurt myself because I broke this rule that every chemist knows, and I screwed up, and I'm lucky I didn't get hurt badly. So here's the rule. You never, ever pour water into an acid. Always the other way around. So never add water to an acid. Add an acid to water. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay. The reason why you don't want to do this is, let's say you have a container with acid in it. I'll show you a really bad example, and this is close to what I did in college. So I had a small graduated cylinder, and I had, this is water, just to not lie to you, but I had a good amount of acid. I think it was sulfuric acid in the graduated cylinder. I'm an idiot. I added water to the acid like this. Okay, this immediately got so hot that the glass burnt my hand, and I'm very lucky that the water didn't boil, because if it boiled, it would have had no room to move and shot up, and I could have gotten acid burns on me. You never break this rule. So let me show you the proper way to do this. I have this labeled H2O, and that's a whole other thing. In a lab, you never know what something is. It looks like water, it could be poison stuff. Always label things. Water, or whatever it is, and I have these labeled. So let's say you need to mix acid and water. So what you do is you add some water first, and then, let's say this was an acid, then you would carefully add some acid. So that's a big no-no there. Always add acid slowly to some water. Water also absorbs heat really well, so if there is a buildup of heat, it won't happen super quickly. All right, so never add water to an acid. Always put chemicals into water. So water should be the first thing in a container. Okay, so remember that in the kitchen at home. Water, then add some stuff. Okay. Heating substances. It's pretty simple. So I'm going to start up the burner. So let's say you're going to heat a chemical up in a test tube. So first, you want to use tongs. These are test tube tongs. You squeeze them, they open. You let them close, you grab the test tube. So here's the thing about heating up substances in a test tube. First of all, it's not a lot of material, so it gets hot really fast. Now, here's what you want to do is you want to make sure that you point the test tube away from your face. So you point the test tube to the side, and then you heat up whatever's in the test tube slowly like this. All right? I could mess this up on purpose and try to show you why you never want to point the opening towards your face or anybody else. If I heat up this water, it's starting to boil, and there's not a lot of room in the test tube, so if I heat up, look what just happened. Did you see that? Some of the boiling hot water just flew out, okay? And water is not flying out as much as I know other chemicals like, have you ever tried to heat up milk in a pot or a pan in the kitchen? It like starts to roil over, right? So basically, you always heat up substances by pointing a test tube or a container. Always point the container away from your face, all right? Never point stuff directly at your face like this. This is not good. And then also, don't touch it. You just bring the test tube over to a rack, squeeze this and let it go. All right, so basically when you're heating up substances, make sure that any openings are pointed away from your face. Straight up is not good either because the stuff could fly up. You want to always point containers that you're heating. Make sure the mouth of the container is pointed away from your face. All right? Okay.